Okay, and then I wanted to talk about this one about like, I seen it on here that some black girl had told white people that gingers are the black people of white people, and then like a flood of redhead people just went on the TikTok and were just so happy and enthused, and they want to thank, and then they want to tell us about how really we're similar struggles, and like there's so many things that I want to touch on that there's so many facets of this issue. Number one, that I've realized that I used to get mad when like white people were racist, but I have realized that white people are mean to everyone. You know what I mean? Just because this just happens to be one thing that they can be mad at you and be hateful and throw hateful stuff, but they're just angry at everyone, and it's not any type of, you know what I mean? They prefer to be around white people, but when they're around white people, they'll find things that get on you about that too, and that's why all these redheads are coming out, because they've been abused by other white people, so they're so glad that like that's why they feel that we have the same. That you don't have the same struggle, but I get it, because these white people are so mean to each other, to everyone, and it might not be you, but you get the gist of what I'm talking about. Some white people that are rude and mean to almost everybody except a few people, and so that was weird. Then she was just joking. Number one, someone says she's serious, and even if she is serious, like first of all, y'all don't listen to anything that we ever say. So it's weird that all of a sudden you said this and now you're just running with it. You know what I mean? And then someone reminded me that this is the same people who had a problem with Ariel, the mermaid, being black. You know what I mean? Like she's redhead. So like I see that there's like a thing here where like a kind of a disconnect. You know what I mean? Like I want the good parts, but I only want them. I don't want you to have them. But also, I was thinking, because it kind of goes on this other thing that I was listening to the other day about these gingers. See, you got me calling them gingers. Redheaded people taking this and be accepting of it. It's just like white people who of other colors who like to say the N-word. Like, if we're not, long as you're also, when you see problems with black people, you stand up for them and you speak out on our behalf. When you see injustice, you stand up for black people and you do that, then maybe it's okay. But like, I don't want to like you, oh no, I'm black, but then when black issues come around, I never hear from you. You don't never say nothing. You never do nothing. So you're only there when it's good for you. I'm only here. I say the N-word, but then when the N-words are in trouble, I keep quiet. I don't do anything. So like, I hope that it has an even balance where we can, when you won't be rude to black women when you see them, or you're not rude to black men when you see them, because now you're black, right? So you will never disrespect your people. You'll stand up for your people when you hear these injustices, because sometimes it gets real quiet like crickets when it comes shit's gonna move so fast. That's why I hate topical conversations, because by the time I punch it up, we're off onto it. Then it's like later on it's like French fries, you can't reheat it. It's dated, you know what I mean? But I wanted to chime in on this whole first it was 100 men versus one gorilla. And I think that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Because like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna pin him down? How do we count you, even if you did win? What's counting? You have to kill him? Is that what you're saying? Like hand to hand, all you guys kill him, so he's good until you automatically murder him? Because it's not like you're gonna pin him down. He's just gonna be like 1, 2, 3, you won. That's not. You know what I mean? So I don't think that one's like real. But then they said this one about 100 Americans versus 100 British people, and that's like the big thing on here. And I was gonna get to the other one, but yeah. And you know what I mean? I just thought it was the most comical thing ever. Like, are you kidding me? Like, And there's British people on here talking about like, yeah, you know, have you ever been to Liverpool, Manchester? Have you ever seen a British mum scowl at her child? Seriously, if you drink tea in the afternoon, you pose no threat to any of us. You know what I mean? And I don't, you know, let's not take nothing from, I don't know, I don't care where you're from. Let's not take nothing, but like, there's like an underlining thing that we have here called violence. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not even like, it's something that's just bred into us. You know what I mean? It's something that you can't, that, you know what I mean? Like, we have to work on keeping it down. You know, if a person steps on your shoe, violence. If someone says something smart, even in this traffic, you know what I mean? Like, people are, you know what I mean? Fuck you. Like, we're all like on edge. Someone said it was because of the economy and how we live. We're all broken. Like, that could be, you know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? But like, it doesn't have anything to do with any of you. You know what I mean? And then they started bringing up other, like, maybe Russia. Like, maybe Russia. There's not, you know what I mean? I can't even think. You know what I mean? There's like maybe Japan and I feel like it's not even worth talking about. You know what I mean? Like, no weapons, because they're like the first run. How are you gonna get your guns? Like, there's so much I want to say, but like, I feel like it's like a little kid threatening to beat me up, and then like I'm supposed to respond to that. Like, I don't know what you want me to say to that. There's no way. You know what I mean? Like, this. But I just thought it was like ridiculous. Like, how would we even like? That's like. You know what I mean? Like, we have so many places. Can we bring prisoners too? Can we bring bangers? There's the homeless people. There's so many people that would just. For a point, I was just like, how about all the 100 Americans? Y'all just sit and I'll take this one. You know what I mean? Y'all sit, I'll handle these, and then we'll have a conversation. You know what I mean? You know, give me like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? If you drink tea or you say crumpets or anything like that, you're a non-factor, period. Okay, so we're moving on from that one. It's not even it's not. All right, so then I wanted to talk about stories that I don't talk about. And this one's about my grandma, Ruth Harvin. All right, so yeah, I don't talk about them because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Okay, so I can only tell you what I know. Okay, so my grandmother on my mother's side, my mother's mother, her name is Ruth Harvin, or her name is Ruth Harvin, and Ruth Harvin was an orphan, or so what I know. You know what I mean? She came before me, so I don't know. Ruth Harvin was an orphan, and the rumor was that that Ruth's father was a white guy, and that he was not trying to have any black kids, and I don't know. I think it was like her mom was like a little, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? She's an orphan, and I guess she was sent from orphanage to orphanage and orphanage, and also these are black stories, so I'm just telling you what I was told, and I'm going to tell you how it was told to me. And now, like, when I'm hearing it being retold in 2025, it gives me, like, you have to, like, put pieces together to make it sense. But this is a story. So, she was sent to orphanage to orphanage and orphanage and orphanage and abandoned. I think that when they first found her, she was left alone in a room. And the rumor at that time was that my grandma is deaf in one ear and hard to hear in the other. And I always laugh about it because now where I'm from, that makes sense. But like, there's no clinical term for hard to hear in one ear. But so she's deaf in one ear and hard to hear in the other ear. And they thought that, and it could be I don't know, a wise tale, but they were saying that as a baby she was left in an abandoned place, and the earwigs went into her ear and laid eggs in her ear, and that's how she got deaf. But I don't know. It's just what we was told. By the time I got here, she was a grandma. So, all right. So, I guess she gets taken to a foster family or an orphan. Somehow my grandma ends up in a place where she gets she builds a street family, like a different family. So then she goes out on her own, I guess. And my grandma also, because she's deaf in the ear and hard to hear in the other, it's not that she has a speech impediment, she just speaks like a person who can't hear, you know what I mean? But also, it's back in those days, maybe like the 20s and 30s, and I don't know if they had like a lot of hearing devices and stuff like that, but also my grandma is trying to pretend that she isn't deaf, you know what I mean? So she's becoming a master at saying, what'd you say? And having people talk up, and then she would just try to, and read lips or try to hear what she can hear out of it and make sense of it. And my mother said, and my aunt said that as she got older, she started having kids, and it would be because she's deaf, just deaf. You know what I mean? So men would take advantage of her all the time. They would wait till she would get paid, and they would beat her up and take her money. She would like to party and hang out and, just have a good time. And when they all get drunk, they would beat her up and take her money and just leave her. And my mom and my sister, my aunt, would say that that would happen a lot. And even when a man would like romance her just so they could get her a check and then, take it from her. And so they were poor a lot in their life. And one of the stories was that they became Jehovah's Witness. And when they became Jehovah's Witness, they were in with the group. And then I guess my grandma had 4 kids. Vay, Auntie, Fahim. Yeah, okay, 3 kids. She has 3 kids, 3 different dads, right? And they were having a birthday party. All of the dads left, so it's just, you know what I mean? So my grandma decided to have a birthday party for I think it was my aunt or my mom. And all the city kids came and partied. And when the church found out, they were kicked out and shunned. I guess that's what you call it, where no one talks to you anymore. So and I always found a bad taste about Jehovah's Witness. And then all right, so I'm just trying to catch up the story. So one time, so my grandma had all this family, and one time one of the family members of the street family, she needed my grandma to watch her kids. Their kids, they became my cousins because we're all family. And one of them, Michael, he tried to poison my grandma for some reason. I don't know. So fast forward, my aunt was dating my uncle Richard, married my Uncle Richard. And my Uncle Richard had become a drug addict, but he used to play the drums for Grover Washington Jr. He's a good drummer. And he got on the dope. And then one day my aunt decided to leave him, and she went back to my grandma's house. And then she was hiding. So then she went out for a little while. When she went out, Richard, my uncle, came looking for her, and he was knocking on the door. And when he knocked on the door, my grandma can't hear it. My grandma couldn't hear it, and he kept banging on the door. So when she finally came to the door, when she was coming to the door, he just shot through the door. He shot at the door handle, and when he shot at the door handle, the other side, it shot the door, and then the other side of the door handle just went, and it went into my grandma's face. All the fragments of it went into his face. It blew out. He came in the door. He's looking for my aunt. He's knocking all this shit. He drags my grandma up the stairs looking for her. Then he drags her back down the stairs. Then he drags her out into the to the front yard. And he's kicking her and stomping her and stomping her. And he left because my aunt wasn't there. So then my grandma had a stroke after that. And she was paralyzed on this side of her body for the rest of her life. And it was just like, it was all of a sudden. They never even caught him, never once, you know what I mean? But, yeah. And we moved her up to Alaska. She stayed for a little while. I remember, like, one time I was alone with her, and she was telling me how good, I don't know if she knew who I was, but she was like, "You're such a good man." I was like breaking down crying, like, "Damn, grandma." Like, all right, let me try this again. Yo, what's good? It's your boy, Lion Dangerous, and tonight it's my story. And my story, the question tonight is, what part did religion play in your social activities? And I was just thinking that that when I was a kid, my mom told me that my dad told her that no matter what happens, he wanted to make sure that his kids were raised Baptist and baptized. So that was one thing that my parents tried to make sure that happened. And we traveled all over the United States as a kid. So I like to say that when we get somewhere that I feel personally that my dad did want us to be Baptist, but I also think that it was like a good networking ploy wherever my father would go. Like if we go somewhere and they're powerful people that he's wanting to network with, he would ask, especially if they're black, he would ask them what church they go to. Then we would go to their church or go to a church close by, and we introduce ourselves. I have to stand up and do this, and we get baptized, and it gets you into like, it gets you in with people, you know what I mean? So I had been baptized all over the United States, and when we got to Alaska, I think we were settling down from moving all around. So he took. Also, I think my dad's. I feel that my dad was bipolar, and that every now and then he would just run into people, and when he feels very social, and he would befriend them and invite them over, strangers and all kind of people. And I think that one time a guy came over to ask about joining their church, and then my dad invited him in. He's like, "I got kids," and they're like, "Oh, we got a Sunday school," and I'm, "Oh, okay." And my dad signed us up, and that they'll be coming to pick you up Saturday morning, so be ready. And it would just happen like that. So I joined Sunday school. I think that Sunday school was on Saturday though. I don't know. It was church school, and then I joined usher board on my own. I had a friend that went to the same church, so. You know, it was cool. Like, we got to be on the usher board. I was telling someone that I got to wear the white gloves, and I got to, like, direct people into the place, and I get to pass the plate around and stuff. That was cool. And then I was in the choir. I think that I was part of the church that I went to was upper middle class black church. So, like, there was things that were very odd. But I also because I was in the church had a Boy Scouts that I joined. I remember that. And even in Sunday school, we would all go out on outings. We'd go to movies and stuff like that. But it was an upper class. I remember when we were kids, there was sometimes, I'm going to move up from this, but I remember sometimes when we're in Sunday school, some of the adults would say, "Don't act your color." You know what I mean? That was a thing, that stop acting your color. I thought that was weird. Also, like, they would make fun of people that were poor coming in and dressed in poor clothes. And that was like a turn off for me, like, just personally. But then as I got older, I read all that, and I was still looking. So I started reading up on studying other different religions. So I got into the Nation of Islam. I was a follower of them for a while. Farrakhan came to Alaska, and we all like came out. It was nice. I studied Islam. Prayed 5 times a day. Did all that. You know what I mean? And I studied Buddhism, and that would just bring me into like different social settings. You know what I mean? Like Fridays, you have to go to Juma. I checked out some a Buddhist place here. I have a friend that invited me to go there. He's still asking me to come on Wednesdays, and I'm not a religious person. I don't know what I believe, and that's all right. You know what I mean? But I don't like anyone putting their religions on me. You know what I mean? Especially I was thinking that since I found out that I'm a descendant of King Ramses the Third, that I always like saying that, but that came before Christianity. You know what I mean? But also, when I was just thinking the other day, I was just thinking my personal that the dinosaurs had the planet way before us for a longer time than us. You know what I mean? That's not even like, it just shows human ignorance that's not even brought up in any of the religions. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even like that. That's like a big, it was here longer than us, so it would have a bigger part of it. You know what I mean? Explaining stuff. But I guess like in human evolution, like it's whatever doesn't come before us, whatever we can't see, then it doesn't matter. It didn't exist. So you know what I mean? Whatever. But I do like people that seek higher power, and I feel that my religion is love. You know what I mean? So I feel like I connect better with, well, I connect with everyone, but you know what I mean? Connecting also, like, I feel that in masses, there's energy and connecting on one thing. So like praying with people, I have no problem with. It's like good, and celebrating with people, and you know what I mean? Like I don't let it try to ruin who I am as a person. You know, I still want to celebrate with humanity, you know what I mean? But I would still like to have my own beliefs. And I like to go back to I like to be back. I'm part indigenous and the whole Egyptian thing, so I like to go back to the mind before I was put these colonized thoughts of that in my mind. So you know what I mean? Like I like to be free. You know what I mean? I'm descended from a living God. It's enough for me right there. You know what I mean? I don't have to say no more. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And then indigenous people, like, you know, like living off the earth and being peaceful to everybody and not trying to like get over on people and live proper, you know what I mean? Not take too much, live in moderation, you know what I'm saying? Just like Buddhists too. I mean, all of it, even Christ, like I want to live like Christ, like love and just like, you know what I mean? And then I want to, you know, be self-disciplined, just a good person, but I don't want anyone trying to tell me what I should be or how I should be or how I should think or who I should look after, you know what I mean? So I'll build with you as long as you're not trying to rain on my parade. I'm all open for it personally. But yeah, I have friends right now, like they're religious people. I don't mind it, you know what I mean? You do what you do, I do what I do. As long as you don't, I want to be like the Indian before you told him about Jesus. You know what I mean? Whatever he believed, that's what, you know. Just don't tell me about it. Those are yours. If anything about hate, I don't want to have to do with that. You know what I mean? I want to just... Yo, it's your boy. I'm just fucking with you. Today is my story, and the question is, what part did religion play in your social activities? And I said before that my mother told me that as a kid, my father wanted to be important. That or whatever happens to our kids, that he wanted to make sure that we were all raised Baptist and baptized. So like I said, as a kid I traveled around all the whole United States. Watching TikTok videos. My bad. I'm over here at my brother's. Like, I don't know, I must have been gone for a long time because we went to a Carmageddon where I was performing in Palm Springs. And then he's like, I took him home. And then I went. It's been like a few years, but then I came back. He's had 4 kids. He has a dog. Huh? He has all of it. Like, he's like living a real life. I totally missed all the birthdays, like all the good times. It's sad. But at least I got to see them all. They're all beautiful and smart and intelligent. This one is about the stories I don't talk about. And this one's about my Uncle Vay. My Uncle Vay, I would want to talk about it, but then, I don't talk about it. My Uncle Vay is my mom's brother. And there was 4 of them. And before I was born, my Uncle Vay was the oldest. He's the oldest of my mom and there's 4 of them, but there's my aunt, then my Uncle Vay, my Aunt Andra, Uncle Vay, and then my mom Precious, and then my Uncle Alfred. And my Uncle Vay was the older of my mom and him, and they were like, before I was born, they were tight, I guess. You know what I mean? So, my mom's, this is a story that I was told, and then so my mom says that when she was little, there used to be like a little rumor going around that, or not even a rumor, that people would, my mom and them were poor. So when you're from this inner city and you're poor, the dozens and all that. So she said sometimes there would be rumors that my Uncle Vay was gay and it would be going around and stuff, right? She didn't like see anything. And then, so I guess one time there was a party, and then my Uncle Vay wanted to go to it, and my grandma was working. So my Uncle Vay took the car, either her car or someone's car. He took the car and he went to the party. And I guess while he was at the party, he got into the car and he backed it up and backed into a light pole, and the light pole came down on the car, and it hit him. And my uncle was in a coma for 2 months, and they called my family, called my mom, called my grandma, and they need to come to the hospital. This is before I was born. And so they came to the hospital. When they said they came to the hospital, they seen Uncle Vay. He was in the bed, and he was lying in the bed dressed in women's clothes. And but he's in a coma, you know what I mean? So you can't even talk to him. So he was in a coma for 2 months. And then when he finally got out of the coma, he was paralyzed all the way down the side of his body, right? And I don't know. I'm not sure how. I guess he came out. He's gay. You know what I mean? He confessed, I guess. By the time I showed up, in those times, not in those times, in these times, but in those times, the black community, they weren't homophobic. It's just like, I don't know how you say it. It wasn't like, it's not embraced. That's the only way I could say it. And so even in our family, it wasn't embraced. But my uncle was a gangster, you know what I mean? He had been out there, and you had to, like, if you're gay in those times, you had to fight your way, you know what I mean? So he had to learn how to fight and be like a gangster. And I think that he was a gangster before he got hit in the before he got in the accident, and then so he started living his life. I would see him come around, and I see my family like kind of make fun, because sometimes he would come over like, "This is my husband. We about to get married." And him and my mom were close, and I was my mom's first baby. So my uncle, that he kind of gravitated to me. I was kind of like, you can't have kids. This is kind of like your kid. And also, it's my sister's kid, so he really loved me. He treated me with nothing but respect my whole time, you know what I mean? And so he's out there. He would come visit all the time, but they're not really messing with him like that. He's on that crazy shit. And so one time I came back, and when I came back, I was just sitting in the yard, and he had walked up, and he was like, "Count." That's what they call me in my family, like, "Count." And I was like, "Damn, that's my Uncle Vay." So I brought him into the house, and everyone came. He's like, "I'm getting married again," and they was just laughing and stuff. But later, my Uncle Vay, he had, sometimes people be stabbing him up and shit. he had got HIV, and they had people that were cutting him, and this is still like in the 80s and 90s and late 90s, and like people were mistreating him, and like I'm in Alaska, right? So I, all I just hear is about like, sometimes he'll call like he's been cut up, he needs some money and stuff like that, and it used to be sad to me, I can't do anything, and he had passed away, and he passed away alone in like a room by himself and stuff, and like it would make me mad because like regardless of how you feel about how my uncle sexual orientation, like he's still my uncle, you know what I mean, and people like mistreating him and shit like that and doing weird things. And I know other people that come from families that can understand, like, you know what I mean, regardless of how you feel, even regardless, before I didn't really understand it, and even it's not even for me to understand, like, because now in hindsight I started thinking like maybe my uncle was probably trying to be trans and try to come out and transition, but maybe he didn't have the good safe space and all that stuff, that he was in a room he was dressing like a woman before. But I wish he was like in this era where he can feel like a little bit more free. But then like it made me mad, like like people that mistreated my uncle, you know what I mean? So in my head, as I move around, I try to make sure like, instead of making fun of my uncle, like I don't want anyone else to feel like my uncle had to feel, you know what I mean? So like I don't like people bad talking gay people to me. I don't like any of that slander shit, you know what I mean? I take it personally too, you know what I mean? And not even like, even if we're like friends, if you keep going on about it a lot, first of all, I'll try to correct you from the door, because like I'm not the guy, you know what I mean? Like I take it personal, you know what I mean? I hear you doing that. To me, it just reminds me of motherfuckers mistreating my uncle, and I be wanting to like, I be trying to be peaceful, you know what I mean? So I just try to avoid people like that, or I'll try to check you. But I mean, cultures like hip hop and some of the black community, not all of it, but some that are homophobic. And even me, it's taken me a lot. I'm a human being, you know what I mean? So it's taken me a lot to understand. But even me learning to understand, what I did understand is that I want to have a safe space around me where motherfuckers don't have to feel like they're terrible or mistreated. What difference does it make who my uncle loves? That's not your fucking business. What difference does it make what my uncle does in the bedroom? Mind your fucking business, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if there's like some guy who doesn't want to love my uncle, like, I don't want to be a part of any of that. That's not something I want to be a part of. If y'all don't have any love for my uncle, then what kind of view? Why do I care what you think? You see what I'm saying? So like, I take that shit kind of personal. I don't like to talk about it a lot because that's inside here, you know what I mean? I'm stepping on other people's toes. It's not my place to stay, but this is my place personally. Like, doing all that weird shit. And I've met a few dudes, I liked them, and then they started saying weird shit about gay people, and I'm just like, nah, I can't be your friend, you know what I mean? And I who cares whatever people think? It's not. I'm with AMIE, Amy. You've seen her in my videos many times. Remember how about that time you looked like Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No, yeah.
When we went to
Do you remember the time?
That's what you did too. I don't know why I thought you looked like. You said go straight.
Wait, in here.
Oh, I was about to say.
Did you take the elevator?
No, we just walked in, right?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
You
trying to kill me?
No.
Have me murdered? He's a murderer!
I don't remember taking stairs.
No, because we went those right there, right? We went to those ones right there. Look, she's trying to get me lost. She's trying to confuse me. Confuse me. Northern Lights. What's up, Tuxtails?
What's going on?
Happy Friday, motherfuckers. I see you, dog. I see you. Oh, it's two of y'all. Okay, I see what y'all doing.
Same thing we do every night, Dave.
In unison. It's like a... What's up? I'm Lion Dangerous, and I grew up in Alaska. One time, my job sent me to a small village. It was right off the Bering Sea, and I was out there for a year, and the village is called Dillingham. You can't drive in. You can only fly in, and it's a small plane. a small village with no streetlights. It's a dirt road, a road, just one road, one store, no mailboxes. You have to go to the post office to get your mail. Neighbors are miles away. 70% subsistence, meaning 70% of your diet is whatever you grow or kill. I'm out there living like a savage. I grew out my beard and shit. I was a Boy Scout as a kid in Alaska, so the survival techniques kicked in. In Boy Scouts, we learned how to thrive in harsh environments, and it was kind of like muscle memory. I sprung into action. I jumped up and quickly called my supervisor. Nigga! She's a white lady, by the way. Nigga! What in the Halle Berry? They ain't got Uber flights? But it was cool. Beautiful summers. It was mostly Alaska Native people and me. It's hard to stereotype one guy. This one woman told me, you know what they say, once you go black, we only have one, so that's that. I'm Lonnie Dangerous, and I grew up in Alaska. This is Dillingham Part Dos. I was out there hunting and fishing. I'm on the snow machine flying for miles. I'm out this bitch! I heard that it's home of the grizzly. The ferocious 5,000-pound bear, standing up to 12 feet tall. One guy I met said as a kid, there he'd be in his garden, and one would come up and he'd punch it in the nose, and it ran away. So he told me that if I ever encounter a bear, punch it in the nose and it'll run away. Fuck that. I'm not UFC fighting a grizzly. So the town could have a story? Ah, yes. Black men come to village. Bears seem to love dark meat. My son wear his bones on hat. It feels a little racist. He screamed for hours. One grizzly bear came to my property at night. You know those big trash bins that the garbage truck comes up and it puts its arms in and lifts it back and throws it in there? He was tossing that around with one paw, just throwing it around, just playing with it, flipping it with one paw, just flipping it around. I'm inside watching this shit, and I just started realizing the door only has a deadbolt on it. He could destroy it at any moment. If he ever got hungry, I'm living in Yogi's picnic basket. And you can't reason with a bear. Hey, I'm not the one who punches bears.
When you told me about the disciplinary hearing, I'll admit, I had my concerns. So, I had to do my due diligence. I read the transcripts, all of them.
Make Justice face open with camera, where she'll talk into the back of the wall. Even in the back of the room, keep your face right at your camera lens. Basically, your right eye, right cheek is going to talk to her right eye in the back of the room. There you go, so much better. Okay? They were... Arlenis, when you come in, do you have to stop at that white table, or can you stop in the back of the room to put your first step down?
Like back here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can put my...
Because where you're stopping now, you're fine on your camera, but you're stacked on a camera. So A, now you're just living behind her for a long time.
Okay.
So give yourself a spot over there, that's your spot, maybe you dump your keys every time.
Yeah, actually. I like that. By the flag too. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, one more time. Now realistically, she wouldn't have keys because Owen drove me here. When you told me about the disciplinary hearing, I'm walking toward my mic. I can do that when I'm right here. I'm walking towards it. When you told me about the disciplinary hearing, I'll admit it, I have my concerns. I'm starting to pour. Just so you know, I had to do my due diligence. I read the files, all of them. I'm timing it as I go through.
Right.
Okay, but you can start when you're on your way to that mic. That's where you can first start talking. But once you pass it, once you're here, I can't keep talking that way until I get into the back and face that mic again. Yep. Because even the boom, I can't swing it all the way up on the wall right there. Because look, I'm gonna see shadows of the boom. I'm gonna see it bang on the wall, but I can't get the mic there. Your dialogue should kick it off that wall. Okay. Okay. All right.
My man, woo!
I feel around to $80. I ain't tripping cause I get the money from my baby mama. Ain't no drama, she pays me whenever she can. All of this because she fell in love with your man. You know me, I don't always take it though. Cause I know it's difficult making that sourdough. But those days that I do decide to take it on the go, you best believe I'm smoking weed just like a pharaoh hoe. She takes me out on dates to the Coliseum. I could check out this beautiful blood and paint a portrait on the canvas. Cut you up so bad, I bet you wish I brought a bandage. Fuck what she thinks, I'm only in it for the pussy. On top of that, she's got a real nice tushy. Our foreplay begins with us rapping clipsies as we stare at each other while we're playing footsies. She's a 10 and I'm feeling like a pimp, feeding me shrimp, steak and cheese off a plate. She says, are you really wanted in each and every state? Asking me way too many fucking questions, kind of me fake. Just a second ago, I was a player, now I got an undercover cop tied in my dungeon lair. Keep her there, well I'm thinking in the shower. Gotta do this fast before I get caught in an hour. Decide to ditch her body in the Netherlands. Stupid fucking bitch will never learn that I will always win. Somehow tricking everybody sick with my benevolence. Little do they know I got away thanks to the leather grip. This is madness, motherfucking madness. Mask on like a bandit, use it to my advantage. Use your blood to paint a portrait on the canvas. Cut you off so bad I bet you. Stay off the grid, a different bed right when I wake up. Tripping from the night before, slicing up that filthy whore. But still I go and eat my breakfast. Most important meal of the day, plus I'm in Texas. Gonna order reckless, everything is bigger so I'm with it. About to begin with some briskets. And I
was like, I ain't gonna say nothing, you know? So he hires his girl, and then he hires I'm talking 6 or 7 of his USC frat boys. And so...
Talk shit about me, it's like, you ever had that question in the back of your mind? You like, what happens if you are on heroin and you have a baby? Oh, that's what it do? That's what it do. Man, we're gonna keep this shit rolling. I ain't finna be a goddamn superstar, host liner and shit. Y'all make it loud for my boy Ryan, man. Give it up.
Ryan!
Who's that?
Don't do it, dog.
I thought I heard a girl. I was like, oh.
Don't do it.
I got fans. Yeah, speaking of Diddy, you know, have y'all ever caught a case before? Anyone here caught a case? Damn. Well, like any case. Well, any case, I want to know. Like, unless it's still going, if it's not closed, don't admit anything. You know? Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I caught a case one time, I swear. Yeah, I caught a case. It was bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know the words yet, but it's all good. I know the hook. Hey, okay. Yeah. I only know the hook. Come on, birthday girl. You want? Oh, you know it.
Gripping the 210, and I'm blowed again. She gives me a look and I grin. Puff, puff, lungs of the dragon. Roll up for you and your friends. We going in with Tupac, going in. Still West Side riding. She's loving it. She's loving it. She's loving it. 7:30 p.m. sliding through traffic. Chevy Chevelle and pockets still at it. Phone blowing up and I can't stand it. All I got is bubble gum and dick. 7:30 p.m. sliding through traffic. A Chevy Chevelle and pockets still at it. Phone blowing up, I can't stand it. All I got is bubble gum and dick. Bubble gum and dick. I can't stand it. All I got is bubble gum and dick. Got me gripping the 210, and I'm blowed again. She gives me a look and I grin. Puff, puff, lungs of the dragon. Roll up for you and your friends. We going in with Tupac, going in. Still West Side riding. She's loving it. She's loving it. She's loving it. It's nothing. Having too much fun to be tripping. Mustang Cobra with the shoes, it's pimping. 0260, we sharp, she purrs like a kitten. That's how daddy does it, no bullshitting. Blasphemy like Machiavelli, pumping Machiavelli. Heart full of California love, ain't shit you could tell me. Dog tag swang as I'm West Side riding. Bang the dub out the drop, you like it. Head back to Phoenix, try to creep on in. Get shorty suck on my balls and go deep on it. Ebony IIG, they love to peek on him. Your chick chose me, they all put the yeeks on him. Rest in peace, the dog, a mortal outlaw. Also Nate Dogg, it wasn't a hit without Nate Dogg. Much to love to all the outlaws that didn't make it. Wanna thank you all, cause it'll never be the same shit. Gripping the 210, and I'm blowed again. She gives me a look and I grin. Puff, puff, lungs of the dragon. Roll up for you and your friends. We going in with Tupac, going in. Still West Side riding. She's loving it, she's loving it. I had a revenge list and realized I got better things to do. Life's too short, we all deserve to enjoy the view. Had to forgive myself and to let shit go. All the loved ones that tried to stop my growth, but I'm for sure riding down Hollywood, riding slow. Enjoy my sights on Hollywood, that's my life. Smooth with the roughness, or rough with the smoothness. Party with the ladies, avoid all suckers. Always ready to go, but cool though, too fly for ruckus. I won't incriminate myself, just don't touch us. If Kobe's kept spitting, this is what it sound like. I mix between Nate and Pac, and still West Side. Just to tip ambitions of a rider, wanted to build a nice catalog to ball out too. I don't want to name drop, my name's enough. Salute to the Don, may he rest in peace, Thug Love. Got me gripping the 210, and I'm blowed again. She gives me a look and I grin. Puff, puff, lungs of the dragon. Roll up for you and your friends. We going in with Tupac, going in. Still West Side riding. She's loving it, she's loving it, she's loving it.
It was disgusting. You know what I'm talking about. He came in here with all. He wasn't even himself when he came in here. This fool was dressed like the holiest pea pie.
Look in the back of my head, that's her.
Yeah, it was bad.
The girl, someone sent a picture of my goat. She was a chicken. That one?
That one. He was wanting to hit that. And he came in here with a priest suit on. I don't know what the fuck he had on. It was some Aladdin.
He was a dashiki.
No, it wasn't no dashiki. This bullshit was like some the ghost of East Africans. I don't know what the fuck that shit was, but he had some shit. What was that? You tell us. You wore it.
I'm recording. What'd you say about her again?
What did you?
Tell me what you said. She was busting. What'd you say? Say it again.
That is some bull.
What did you say? You said she was busting the African. You already said it.
If you sent it to her, you guilty.
I'm not gonna send it to
never
her.
said her name.
I didn't send it to anybody. I'm asking you to say what you said.
I never said her name.
You didn't have to. Just finish what you said. Go ahead. Just
You
finish what
better
you
not.
said.
That shit is
What
like
do
an
you
8K.
mean? What do you mean? What do
Don't
you
get me on your phone on 8K, nigga. This nigga got 3 lenses. He trying to make sure he get a clear vision of what John was talking shit about you.
What do you mean?
Then this bitch gonna hit me in the neck with a musty dart. Come on, bro. Stop recording that. Is he recording?
That's
Yeah.
bro. We don't do that.
Do
He
what?
ain't
What
giving it
do
to
you
her.
mean? We're the show. It's an open mic. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
he's not gonna give it to her.
Yeah, I'm not
Like,
gonna.
no,
Yeah,
that's
dog.
just not
Come
what
on,
we do.
man.
Mike, you wanna do some time? Because we done went through everybody. Yeah?
Oh yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know I'm gonna give you some time so I can hear, motherfucker. You can come here and just
I didn't
chill.
know who was next, dude.
You next. You the last
Next.
one. You gonna close this motherfucker out. Come on, man.